Hello, hello. It's Jennifer Gilman here, and I'm the owner of the Herbal Cabinet. Today, we are going to celebrate fall. I love fall. It's such a great season. It happens to be my birthday time too. So I love celebrating in the fall. I love the change of weather, and you probably do too if you're watching this recording. So welcome, welcome. So I am the owner of the Herbal Cabinet, and I work with my clients through holistic health coaching. And I'm also a wellness advocate with doTERRA essential oils and the supplements and their personal care products for 8 years now. Wow. Yes. So today we're going to actually bring some fun things to you. We're going to talk about fall diffuser blends. I'm going to give you some recipes. So get your notebook and paper out now. Okay. Go get it. If you need to pause this, pause and go get your notebook. All right. I'm going to give you 14 diffuser recipes. Now, you might not want to actually copy all those down. The reason I have so many is because there's always a few that call to people, and others, they look at them, they're like, yeah, I'm probably not going to like that one. But I wanted to give you plenty to play around with because it's fun just trying some new things, some new combos, right? And if you don't have certain oils and you need to get some, if you already have your doTERRA membership and you're getting your 25% off, make sure you're using the loyalty rewards program so you get points on the dollars you spend. All right. So make sure you're doing that. If you don't have any doTERRA oils yet, and somebody invited you to this class, go back to them and say, hey, I watched Jen's video. I want to get some oils. And she said for me to ask you about the 25% off pricing. Okay. So make sure you go back to the person who invited you to watch this. If you don't have anyone to work with, I'd love to work with you. So just message me. You can find and follow me at theherbalcabinet.com, at the Herbal Cabinet on Instagram. It's the same thing for my YouTube channel. It's the same thing for Facebook. Okay, so you can find and follow me there, or shoot me an email at jennifer@theherbalcabinet.com. All right, so let's get into some diffuser blends, and then we're going to move on to DIYs. All right, I want to give you 5 different fun do-it-yourself things you can do at home, because I know you guys, some of you are super crafty and you want to make more things. You love bringing out those fall festive, wreaths and pine cones and fall leaves and just really celebrating fall. All right, so let's get going here. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to take a look at some diffuser blends first. So here we go. You should see 7 diffuser blends first, and I'll get on to the next 7. And if you don't have your paper and pen yet, pause this video, go get a paper and pen, because trust me, you're going to write these down. You're going to want to know how many drops of everything. All right. So with your doTERRA oils, let's take a look first at Forest Hike. I love, love, love this. I'm a woodsy girl. That's why we have a couple Airbnbs up in the mountains of North Carolina, and they have forest names. So I love wood oils. They just really speak to me. Very calming, really grounds me, earthy, all of that. So you might like this too. And if you do, try this out. 4 drops of Siberian fir, 2 cypress, and 2 sandalwood in your diffuser. Okay. Now I know different diffusers operate different ways. I only have doTERRA diffusers, so I cannot speak to the other brands of diffusers out there. Okay. But if you have a question about your doTERRA diffuser and you don't have anyone to ask, drop me a message. I'm happy to help you with instructions of how to clean it and other things that you might have questions on. But if you have somebody you work with, another wellness advocate, ask them like, how do I clean this? Can you give me the instructions? How often am I supposed to be doing that? All of that. Okay. They will help you. They are your wellness advocate. Now, the next one, oatmeal cookies. Who doesn't like oatmeal cookies, right? So here's your recipe: 2 cedarwood, 2 cassia, and 3 wild orange. All right. So you must have all of those together. Now, cassia is part of the cinnamon plant. Okay. It's the outer bark of cinnamon as it grows. The inner bark is called cinnamon bark. Okay. And cassia tends to be a little sweeter. That's why I like to use it with my cooking and baking. I prefer cassia versus the cinnamon bark essential oil. But cinnamon bark has a very special need for any kind of health protocols. You might want to use it for other things. But if you're looking for a sweet taste, I like cassia better. But you might decide you like the cinnamon better. Same plant, it's just a matter of inner bark, outer bark. All right, and wild orange, love it, love it. So moving on to sweet fall. So sweet fall, if you just love, you're in love with just fall, fall itself, the season itself, you might want to try this diffuser blend. 4 drops of our On Guard. Okay, that's 4 drops. On Guard is a very protective blend. So it's really going to protect your immune system, help support that. So I really like that. And 2 Frankie Boys in there. So frankincense, 2 drops, and 1 copaiba. So this is very nourishing for our immune system. So if you want something that smells kind of like fall, if fall had a scent, this would be it, but also really protecting yourself. The next one's campfire. I have this actually in a spray bottle. I put this in a 1-ounce bottle with some water, and I like to spray this on pine cones. That's just what I like to do. But that campfire smell, that woodsy, like kind of that burnt feel, smell sort of, you would want to use 3 drops of Douglas fir, 3 frankincense, and 2 sandalwood. Okay, that's what you'd put in your diffuser. Or like I said, if you want to play around with some nice spray bottles to have that you can spray maybe your existing potpourri, your pine cones, whatever you want to spray, you can do that. Now up in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see pumpkin spice. Like, it's kind of like Starbucks happens, PSL comes back. My daughter tells me don't call it PSL, pumpkin spice latte. She said it's not a thing. I don't know. So pumpkin spice is wild orange, juniper berry, cedar wood, and clove. So you might be surprised with some of these, but again, when you bring these together, synergy takes over and you get that pumpkin spice aroma. So just 1 drop of clove though. Clove is super strong, okay? Really great for your immune system again. So you're getting some really serious benefits with all of these, honestly. But pumpkin spice is a favorite for most people. Now, we have, let me move on to fall frost. Now you might, maybe you're a person who grew up in the north and now you live in the south and you missed that change of season and that feeling you have of when the first frost comes. You might want to go ahead and use this aromatically. So I really like this for that person who's missing the change of seasons. Okay, they need that to kind of fill their soul. So put together 3 drops of cinnamon bark, not the cassia, cinnamon bark, 3 black spruce, and 3 wild orange. Okay, so put those together. You are going to start to feel a little bit better about, maybe moving to the south and missing those change of seasons. Or maybe you just live up north and your season is coming, but you want to bring it inside the home. You want to have that feeling of that fall frost. Okay. The 7th one here, warm cider. Now, many people start to actually diffuse this closer to the holidays, and I find that it becomes like robust. Everyone is diffusing this blend as we get closer to Thanksgiving and certainly Christmas. So 2 cheer, isn't that surprising? 2 cheer blend. Now I have it in a roller here. I love using this. I love to put cheer or passion on every day. I love the roller because it's pre-diluted. So in the morning, I just don't want that sensitivity on my skin. So I always put it on the inside of my wrist and take a few deep breaths. I always take a few deep breaths because they're worth it, right? And then I just put it behind my ears, and you can rub that in or not. You could put it anywhere else you want, really. But that's kind of what I do. I either put cheer or passion on every single morning. And I wanted to show you that it's a mixture of spices and citrus. So now that I heard that I shared with you spices and citrus, you're probably like, oh, that's why it's in the warm cider. And I always have place your oils where you're going to use them. That's really important. I always have several right by my desk here. These are certain ones I always want to use when I'm working or I'm presenting or whatever it be. And then I have oils out near my diffuser, and I have oils in my kitchen and my bathroom. Let them land where they're meant to be used, right? And that way you'll use them more. So in this warm cider, you've got 2 cheer, 2 cassia, back to the cassia, that's sweeter cinnamon taste, right? That smell, 3 citrus plus. We haven't talked about this. It's a beautiful blend, and 1 motivate. So I really like this very, very much. Now let's move on to the other diffuser blends that I want to share with you. So now we'll start on the upper left is falling leaves. Just saying, falling leaves, it sounds so great. You want to just, like when I was a kid, you just rake them all up. I grew up in Pennsylvania. You rake them all up and then you jump in the pile, right? So this is beautiful, falling leaves, 3 wild orange, 2 patchouli, very, very earthy, and 1 ginger. Okay, and that's going to give you that aroma of falling leaves and jumping in that pile of leaves, which brings a lot of joy and good memories back to people. Snickerdoodles is the next one of my husband's favorite cookies, one of my father's favorite cookies. I don't bake these very well, FYI. I've tried, just doesn't come out. So Snickerdoodles, 3 cinnamon, 3 clove, and 2 wild orange. All right, so if you love that Snickerdoodle taste of the cookie, you're gonna like this. And speaking of cookies, you had the one on the other page with the oatmeal or the oats. What was that one? I'm trying to remember the name of that one. Let's go back there for a second. Oatmeal cookies, that's what it was. All right. So back to the Snickerdoodles. When you have company over, it's kind of nice to have your home scented with something that smells like fresh baked cookies, right? Now, the big question though is they might be saying next, oh, you baked some cookies for me. So if you don't have cookies ready, they might be disappointed in you. But it's really nice to welcome people in your home and you have this beautiful aroma of these baked goods, right? Like apple pie is the next one. So Snickerdoodles, you've got cinnamon, clove, and wild orange. Apple pie, we've got Siberian fir, cinnamon, and citrus bliss. By now, I'm making you hungry, aren't I? So that's the thing about some of these is like just talking about them brings happiness, comfort. You have that feeling of hygge, which is a Danish word for this lifestyle. You might be hearing more about it. I'll be teaching about hygge and how to bring that into your life in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2, next month in the month of October. And of course, if you miss out on it, you can come back to my YouTube channel and find it. So that'll be in October next month, really delving into how to bring more comfort, coziness into your life and using that visually, aromatically, engaging all the senses for it. So these things, the fall often brings that feeling of hygge. And that is really important in today's world. So we'll get serious for a second. Here is, this is meant to be a fun class, but the reality is there's a lot of people with very serious feelings of just anxious, panic attacks, just feeling like overwhelmed. So anytime we can bring more hygge into our lives and really start paying attention to how can I bring comfort and the feeling of coziness, the feeling that, that the nice warm blanket around you or someone giving you just a warm embrace, that feeling that you have from that is really key for us to just cope each day. So one of the reasons people love fall diffuser blends is exactly that. It's the feeling that they're giving themselves and to the people around them. Okay. So the 4th one on the left, you'll see Germ Buster. Really important. Keep those germs away. So we've got On Guard and lemon. And I really like that mixture a lot. Sometimes I substitute that one. I'll do On Guard with a little bit of extra wild orange. There's already wild orange in On Guard, but sometimes I like a little bit more of it. So On Guard and lemon, On Guard wild orange, you've got 3 and 3. All right, the last 3 diffuser blends. By now, I'm really curious. So as you're watching this recording, first of all, I'd love for you to give me a thumbs up on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my channel if you like stuff like this so that I can continue to bring free education like this to you in this format. But drop a comment. I'm curious which are your favorites so far. So comment in the notes, just like tell me which ones did you write down on your paper? Which ones are you going to try next? And maybe it's just 1 diffuser blend, or maybe it's 7, So tell me what they are, share with each other. I'm curious what the favorites are. So the last 3, chai tea. A lot of people like chai. They love chai tea. They're ordering it at all the coffee places. Your favorite barista is making it for you, possibly daily, right? Or you might be making it in your home. So you can make this in your home, the aroma of it, by using 2 drops of cinnamon, 2 cardamom, 2 ginger, and 1 clove. Okay. Now here's a little side note. You can make your own chai sugar. Okay. So maybe you take some nice raw brown sugar and you put these in there. Now, if you were to do this, you would want to put this amount, the 2 cinnamon, 2 cardamom, 2 ginger, 1 clove, into 2 ounces, which is a 1/4 cup of raw sugar. And then you mix that up with like a fork, just so it's really well mixed. And you can even bottle that, put that in little jars, and it could be gifts for people, having a chai sugar so that they can use it for their teas or their coffee or whatever way they want to use it. Maybe they want to sprinkle it on some sugar cookies, that they made, or shortbread cookies for the season. So that's a really nice way to do that. If you don't like sugar, maybe you want to combine that with a maple syrup. Many people are using maple syrup, date syrup, or honey as their sweeteners of choice. So you can do that too. Just make sure it's 2 ounces of whatever that carrier is. So the carrier being either the sugar, the maple syrup, the honey, or the date syrup. Okay. If you're not sure what date syrup is, message me and I'm happy to send you a link. I've been using it for quite some time. It definitely has a lower glycemic index than all of the other ones I mentioned. So I'm really enjoying that when I want to make my oat milk decaf latte in the afternoon. So I put a little date syrup. All right, moving on to fall rain. So there's many people who have really like soothing feelings, soothing their nervous system when they hear the sound of rain. And so we can help that feeling along by diffusing this: 3 drops of bergamot, 2 lavender, and 4 clary sage. So try that out. Love to hear what you think of that one. That's one I've never actually done before. So I'd really love to hear what you guys think about that. Crisp mornings: frankincense, patchouli, lavender, and rosemary. So if you like that crisp morning and that feeling of waking up, especially if you're an early morning riser, you might want to stock your diffuser with this first thing in the morning. So you have that feeling, you make your cup of coffee or tea, or maybe you have some warm water with some, lemon in it, whatever it is that you drink first thing in the morning, and you can have that crisp morning feeling. So I'm hoping you like the diffuser blends. We're going to move on to DIYs. We've got 5 of them for you. But yeah, again, like in the comments, please share your favorites. I'd love to hear them. Tell us what you're going to be doing, or maybe you've already tried some of these and you like it. I know the people who watch these videos, they'd love to hear from you as well. We are one community. So share your feelings, share your comments. So let's move on to actual recipes for the fall with your essential oils. Now, make sure as you're doing these, the things that you want, you're going to actually make a little wish list too. Figure out what oils you're missing. Okay, if there's ones that you don't have in your stash and you need to order, just again, figure out what those are that you need. And then, you can go back to your wellness advocate that you have, or somebody who introduced you, to watch this video and tell them, like, I want these, but how can I get the best pricing? I want the 25% off that Jen talked about. How can I bundle this and save? All right. Again, if you don't have somebody to work with, I'm happy to work with you. But make your little list, and that way you know what you want to tackle and get those supplies in right away. So autumn with essential oils. First up, we have an orange lip scrub. And by the way, you guys, these are really great gift giving ideas in pennies. You can make like 10 of these up and you have some nice stocking stuffers or little gifts to have on hand for people's birthdays. People's birthdays come up, they come and go, and it's nice to be able to have a stash of things that you've maybe already made. So you can kind of pull from them, make a little basket up, or maybe it's something you're mailing, you put it in a padded envelope and you send up to the person that, is having their next birthday or whatever it is for celebrating. So orange lip scrub, you typically want a 1/4 ounce container, and you can get those, Amazon sells them, but I like to get containers from aromatools.com. So it's AROMATOOLS, aromatools.com. Sometimes they have some coupons or shipping specials, things like that. But I like them because you can get small quantities. And that's not the case for a lot of other companies. Sometimes they're making you buy 50 containers. You're like, I don't need 50, I only need 6, So Aroma Tools is great because they offer things in small quantities for just the everyday DIYer, So I recommend getting a 1/4 ounce container and choosing whichever one you like to make this particular recipe. So combine 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, and 2 drops of wild orange, and transfer into the small container. This recipe should make 2, okay? So you should be able to get a couple containers out of this, depending on the size of your container, all right? I'm actually going to have a sip of my tea. I'm an herbalist, so I'm always drinking herbal tea. Today I've got a turmeric ginger and actually put a little extra ginger. A little extra ginger essential oil, the doTERRA one, in there by inserting a toothpick in the orifice, and then I swirled it around so that it wasn't too strong. So it's really nice. So moving on to our cozy room spray. Cozy room spray, I've got many sprays around my house. In a 2-ounce spray bottle, again, you can get that from Aroma Tools. You're going to combine 10 drops of cassia, 10 wild orange, and 5 drops of clove. Add a splash of witch hazel and fill the rest with water. Now, why the witch hazel? Some people use rubbing alcohol, some people use witch hazel. It kind of prevents the flash off because sometimes you spray something and then like it dissipates so quickly. So by putting just a splash of witch hazel or a splash of rubbing alcohol, it can kind of tame that down so that the scent will linger a little bit longer. So I prefer witch hazel. It's completely plant-based. I do not like the smell of rubbing alcohol. That's just my preference. So you do you. You're going to have to shake before each use on this. Now, I will share with you, I'm a little sensitive to cassia. It is one that needs to always be diluted, but for me, honestly, I would only put 3 drops of cassia because if this ever got on my skin or I decided to spray it on my skin, that cassia would be way too potent for my skin. So if you're going to use this as a body spray, which a lot of people love to do, they have a room spray, body spray, bathroom spray, they can use it for multiple things, then take the cassia down a little bit, okay? Take it down to 3 and then take your clove down to 1 or 2, okay? If it's going to be a body spray. Spiced cider. Big deal. Everyone loves making this. So add 1 gallon of organic apple cider to a slow cooker. Okay, get your slow cooker out. It's the season anyway to get those out. Or you can have your, oh my gosh, what's the Instant Pot, because the Instant Pot has a slow cooker button. All right. So 1 gallon of apple cider, organic, along with a slice of orange, and add in 5 cinnamon sticks. And then you simmer on low for 2 hours. And right before serving, add in 1 drop of lemon and clove oil. Okay, so 1 drop each of lemon and clove. Me, I like a little extra lemon, so I put like 4 drops of lemon in and 1 clove. But this is a really nice recipe, and it's so tasty. People like those warm drinks. It's again bringing hygge. It's bringing that soothing, comfortable, cozy feeling into your life. So the last one on this page is the wellness roller. And that, of course, is to keep your immune system well. So in a 10 ml roller, if you don't know what the heck a roller is, this is a roller. This is the cheer roller I showed you. Well, doTERRA sells empty roller bottles and fractionated coconut oil so that you can make your own rollers. So I would just get your roller, get your fractionated coconut oil from your doTERRA order. And now you can have fun making rollers. They come in a 6-pack, so it works out really well. It's less than $1 a piece. So in a 10 ml roller, you're going to combine 10 drops of On Guard. We've talked about On Guard before, so you can kind of see that you're definitely going to need On Guard in your house. Wild orange and tea tree oil, and then fill the rest with fractionated coconut oil. So 10 drops each, On Guard, wild orange, and tea tree. And that one you just shake the first time you make it. After that, you don't need to shake it again anymore. Now on this recipe, it doesn't tell you where to place that. So what I would do to stay well is twice a day. So first thing in the morning and right before bed, roll that on the bottoms of your feet and rub it in really well to the bottom of your feet. Okay. Now say this is the bottom of your foot. When I say put it on the bottom of your foot, I mean like everything, the pads of the toes, the pad of the big toe, the whole bottom of the foot. Okay. Do the other foot. And then I usually do my lower spine. So I just kind of take that and just roll the lower spine and the back of the neck. So twice a day, just to kind of really stay well, keep your cells well, and being able to fight what you need to throughout the day, fight those bad germs. So the last recipe is the cinnamon pine cones. And a lot of people love playing around with the pine cones for the fall and Thanksgiving. So it's kind of fun to gather them if you're in an area of the country that you can gather them. If not, you might need to buy them. All right. So just make sure if you buy them, unfortunately, a lot of stores like Michael's and Joann's are already scented with synthetic Fragrances, do not buy those. Those cause a lot of problems, all right? We won't get into that, but people have issues with breathing and everything when they're around that kind of stuff. So we want to make our own for a reason so that it's actually beneficial for our health instead of tearing down our health. So you might need to go online to buy them because it's hard to find local stores that sell pine cones that are unscented. So you might need to go on to Amazon or wherever you would like and buy those pine cones, or find somebody who maybe lives in an area and doesn't mind gathering some and sending them to you. Okay. So first you gather them, you've got to bake them in 200 degrees Fahrenheit to kill any bacteria. Make sure you're killing whatever leftover bugs are in there, so you've got to bake them. So I usually do 200 for like 30 minutes. Just make sure it's all good. Then after they're cooled, you can place them I used a paper bag, not a plastic bag. And then you can mix a few drops of cinnamon essential oil with the water in a spray bottle and spray the pine cones thoroughly and close the bag and shake to distribute the oil. And then keep that bag closed for a few days to just make sure that cinnamon infuses the pine cones. All right. So that's the key there, is actually shaking it each day. I would do 3 days. The one time I only did 1 day and it just wasn't enough. So each day I would spray them down again. I'd open the bag up, spray those pine cones down really good, shake it up again and let it sit. Do the same thing the next day and the next day. So allow 72 hours there for those pine cones to really get infused with the spray that you made. And keep in mind, you can use any of those diffuser sprays. You can use any of those diffuser recipes. If you have a particular aroma that you think you're going to like, or you'll like, then make it into a spray for these pine cones and use that. Okay. So with the spray bottle, just with any of those diffuser recipes, put it in 1 ounce. So for every 1 ounce, you can use that same recipe and the rest would be water. Okay. So I think that's about it. So I just wanted to share all of that. I hope that you got some really good recipes down and that your paper is now filled up with all the things that you want to make. Again, make sure you've got your shopping list, right? So the first list is going to be your oils, and you'll reach out to the person who invited you to this to mention that you want 25% off. Or if you're already got your account with doTERRA, put it on your next loyalty rewards order so you can get everything in on time and start making some of these. So again, I really enjoyed spending time with you guys. Find and follow me at the Herbal Cabinet. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to me so I can keep bringing this free education to you. Bye for now.